This is the MotorRacingNetwork.com Ford 400 race recap brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Tony Stewart outran Carl Edwards of the checkered flag to win Sunday's Ford 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway and clinch the 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. In what will be remembered as one of NASCAR's most thrilling races and epic points championships, Stewart and Edwards tied for the lead on top of the standings after Sunday night's final race of the season, but by virtue of his 5 wins over the course of the year, to Edwards' lone victory, Stewart won the title in a tiebreaker. An impressive accomplishment for a driver who early in the chase didn't even think he was playoff worthy.
I would have lost every bet in the world if people would have said, hey, when you got in the chase, that we were going to win a race or we were going to win 5 races and win this thing. I would have bet against us. And I learned a big lesson with our organization and you know how strong a program we have and people-wise. I mean, everybody has good cars and good equipment, but you know, I'm sure Darian's mentioned it. It's the people you have that make the difference. And you know, when I said at Chicago that we didn't belong in this chase and we're taking a space that somebody else that probably was going to do a better job could have done, there were 2 things that could have happened with our group of guys, and they could have hung their head and said our guy doesn't believe in us, or they could do exactly what they did, and that's never gave up. They dug their heels in, and they fought like the Bad News Bears, man. I mean, we were the team that nobody really thought had a shot beginning. And
Stewart's title comes in his 2nd season as co-owner of the race team with Gene Haas and carrying the number 14 of his racing hero, A.J. Foyt, who called Stewart to congratulate him in victory lane.
To hear him say that was the best race he's ever seen me run is it brings a tear to your eye. I mean, not many people can have their lifelong hero say that and hear you say that. So it's just very, very flattering. The one thing out of the conversation, I was surprised. Even when I drove Silver Crown cars for him and George Snyder, we'd win the race and he'd still tell me everything I did wrong during the race. And for once, he didn't tell me that I did anything wrong. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to top this now. I think my life's complete, and if I get hit on a golf cart, I'm good to go now. Because AJ said I did everything I could perfect for once. So it's an honor. That was probably one of the coolest phone calls I've ever had in my life, obviously.
Edwards, who carried a 3-point lead over Stewart in the event, was left with wondering what might have been after coming up just short of his first career Sprint Cup championship.
Well, the effort was all season. We, you know, we finished the last 2 races of last season very strong, and we believed in what we were capable of this year. And I think we proved to ourselves that even with adversity and the things that we faced throughout the chase, the bad runs that we had and the mistakes that we made and recovered from, that we can compete for these championships. And you know, I guess the only thing I'm able to take away from this that's really positive is something I think is really important, is that at least we know that we can compete with any of these people. We can compete with a 2-time champion or 3-time champion now, winning half of the chase races. We can still score as many points as them, and that's a big deal.
Despite the disappointment, Edwards believes the experience will make him better for a title run in 2012.
There are lessons that I learned and things that I learned about myself, about competition, about you know, about failure, you know, things that about success. I mean, things that I could not have learned any other way. I mean, you know, if there weren't any pressure, there wouldn't be any diamonds. That's what my trainer says. So, you know, we've dealt with a lot of pressure, and I feel very proud of the way our team and myself and everyone has handled everything through this, and I feel that we made it all the way through. And although we didn't come out with the outcome that we wanted, that we are better because of it, you know. And I'm not trying to be philosophical or anything. I'm truly telling you, if I'm in this position next year, I'm going to be better at it. I'll be better. So that's cool. That's something you don't get every day, is a lesson like this.
So wrapping up the top 12 of the 2011 chase, Tony Stewart, the champion, the most wins in 2011 with 5. Carl Edwards finished his second. He had the most top 10s with 26. Third place, Kevin Harvick finished 8th in the Ford 400. He wound up 3rd in the standings after scoring 4 victories. Matt Kenseth, a 3-time winner in 2011, gave Roush Fenway Racing 2 drivers in the top 5. Brad Keselowski was the highest finishing wildcard driver in 5th after winning 3 times. Jimmy Johnson's 6th place finish in the standings is his worst in 10 years of full-time racing. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 7th place finish in the standings is his highest in 4 years with Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff Gordon, a 3-time winner in 2011, came home 8th and was his 6th consecutive top 10 finish in the standings. After finishing 2nd in 2010, Denny Hamlin came home 9th in the standings after entering the chase as the 2nd wildcard driver. Ryan Newman of Stewart Haas Racing rounded out the top 10. Kurt Busch finished 34th in the Ford 400 after transmission issues dropped him 3 spots in the standings to 11th. And Kyle Busch finished last in the chase after having to sit out Texas for disciplinary actions from NASCAR. He won 4 races in 2011. Be sure to check back with MotorRacingNetwork.com for the latest from Homestead and stay with us all off-season for the latest breaking news and features as we count down to the start of the 2012 season.